Performing operations on table. It is a part of database management system. Today I am explaining you the theoretical part and where you will be able to see the steps how to operate a table. That means how to edit and insert and delete data and how to create relationship theoretically, and later we will see its practical implementation. Okay, so let us see that how we can operate a table or how can we create a table in MS Access. The main software here you will use MS Access, Microsoft Access. Fine. So let us see now. So performing operations on tables. Okay, tables are the easiest way to store and arrange data. Okay, and you can see a table out here. This is actually the formation of a table. These are the field names and these are the tuples or records. All right. So inserting data in a table, how this is possible? You have seen in the last video that there are two views in Excel. One is called data sheet view, another is called design view. Fine. To insert data in a table, you can follow the given steps. Okay. Here your database is students and select the students info table. This is the name of the table you can see out here. Okay, in the navigation pane, and from there you will just start typing. All right, start typing in the cell and press the tab key. Means from one cell to another key, when you will move, you have to press the tab key and then just enter the number. And if this is a primary key, in that case this particular thing will not be same. All right, so it is very easy. Use the navigation keys to move up and down, left or right in a table. To insert a new record, press the down arrow key from your keyboard clearly, and this will move the cursor to the next record in the datasheet view. So this is actually the datasheet view, and the design view is bit different from it. Okay, and whenever you are editing the table, you just have to open the table, click on the record you want to edit, and use the backspace or delete key to remove the record. Make the changes and click on save button. Very simple steps. You just open the Microsoft Access, then work accordingly, and you have to follow. This is actually the field names, and under the field names you have to give the records and data, whatever it is. The horizontal one is actually the record, a full information for a particular student, and this is the vertical one is the attributor columns. Okay, so that is the thing. So we have seen it how to insert the data in datasheet view, as well as you can edit the record by using the backspace or the delete key to remove the record and whatever changes you will make, and then you have to press the save button. Okay, to save the changes. All right, so here you are just editing records in a table. You can try it out. Okay, but we will come up with also with a practical demonstration of it. Okay, if you want to delete that record from a table, select the record that you want to delete. Okay, first of all, and after selecting the record, right click on it and then select the delete record option from the context menu. Okay, context menu means whenever you are right clicking, whatever menu is appearing, the shortcut menu that you can see, that is actually the context menu. Otherwise, click on home tab or select the delete button in the records group. Simply it has been said, what you have to do, click on the home tab, select the delete button in the records group. Fine, then only the record will be deleted. To select all the records, you have to press Ctrl A. All right. Now the thing is that sorting data in a in datasheet view. What does the sorting means? Sorting means to arrange the data either in ascending or in descending order. Okay, it is actually convenient to work with the sorted data rather than the data which are jumbled up. Okay, so sort feature in MS Access will help us out in order to arrange the record in ascending or in descending order. Okay, so what you have to do, first of all, you have to open the table and select the field that you want to sort with. Fine. Afterwards, click on home tab, then choose either ascending, you can see the icons over here, ascending or descending option in the sort and filter group. So this is very important, the tab and the group, that is very important. When like here you can see home tab, delete button, from where the record group, that is very important. If you don't know the group in the ribbon, then you might face problem, and then the data will be sorted depending on our choice whether it is ascending or descending. Fine. Okay, so what you have to do for sorting, remember the record, because sometimes the short question also comes. Okay, so that's what the home tab, then the ascending or descending, either one you have to choose. Okay, in that where it is in the sort and filter group. Okay, then your data will be arranged in as per your choice. Fine, the data will be sorted depending on your choice. All right, so that is the way to sort the data. Okay, now what are the how can you sort the data with using multiple fields? In the similar way, okay, select the home tab and click on advanced button in the sort and filter group. Little bit you have to go ahead with advanced button, then sort and filter group, and from the list of options select the advanced filter sort option. Select the advanced filter sort option. You can see here what is the thing. Then drag the field SID, because we are taking the SID field as the main key field from the student info table in the field grid. Okay, field grid means this is called the, these are called the field grid. All right, and click on the sort option. Selecting ascending or descending option from the drop down list. Repeat the process in the other fields to the additional sorts. Okay, means but from SIT, where else you want to do the, where else you want to choose the sort, you want to do the sorting, that field also you have to choose. Okay, and set the descending order for it. Okay, you can give the ascending order also. Okay, click on save button and the quick access toolbar to save. The result will be saved in the form of a query. Okay, query means some specify command in order to filter out some data from the table. So we will come to that later. So your data will get sorted. How? In the as per SID means like student ID, and the CT fields also with this is also. You see all the Noida records have come together, Pune has come together, then the Delhi records have gone there. Okay, and this also has been sorted in descending order. This is has been sorted in ascending order. Fine. So in that way, the multiple records you can sort with. Okay. Very important aspect is referential integrity. Okay, that is actually is implemented when the user wants to fetch data from two or more tables. Means where the foreign key is involved. Actually, foreign key is the one that maintains the referential integrity. This is possible only if all the tables have at least one common field. Without common field, no record can be fetched from other table. All right. Okay, this is a rule in our DBMS. Okay, that is a relational database management system. We are a little ahead of DBMS. We are going with. It states that a foreign key. That is what that is what I had said. It states that a foreign key must have a matching primary key. Okay, means whatever be the primary key, there must be a match between the two keys. Then only you will be able to fetch out the records by using the references. Okay, referential integrity ensure the accuracy and consistency of data within the tables. I had explained this one also before. Okay, means that time we had discussed with the from the child table you will not be able to delete anything, and from the parent table in the child table you will not be able to insert anything over there, and in the parent table you will not be able to delete anything. That is the way to maintain the referential integrity. Okay, and it does not allow to enter a new record. It has been said in the child table. The same thing you see out here, it has been said. So that a table that contains the foreign key, okay, for which you do not have any matching record in the parent table. Okay, so whenever you are entering that, try to enter the anything in the any new record in that child table, there means like it is saying that if there is no reference of that particular record in the parent table, you will not be able to enter. Okay, and otherwise what will happen if the foreign key would not have been defined? In that case, data integrity and the referential integrity will be violated. Okay, and however, if you make any change in the primary key field value, the same must be applied in the foreign key value too. The same restriction applies on the foreign key also. Okay, let us see a demonstration out here. So that's what the differential integrity. So if you see in one word, I would say that there are two tables, say parent table and the child table. In the parent table, as the records which are under the primary key field has been referenced with the foreign key to the child table. So in the child table, you will not be able to insert, and in the parent table, you will not be able to delete anything. That is the thing actually will happen. Okay, in the referential integrity. Let us take one example so you will understand. You see out here with the help of this diagram, you can see out here all these records have been inserted. So it is showing the customer ID and customer ID. Customer ID is primary key and customer ID is the foreign key out here. So if you see out here 101, 102, 103, 104, 105 has been assigned out here. Okay, not 105, 104 has been assigned out here. The record which you have not assigned out here, that you may delete. That is not a problem. But the records, those have been referenced. You will not be able to delete them. That is the one. All right. So what is happening out here? Here 105 you may delete, no problem. But 106 cannot be inserted. If you try to insert it, it will not allow you. In that case, you are actually violating the referential integrity. Okay, and this is the one, the child table with the foreign key. Fine, that is the one. So which is the foreign key? This is the foreign key out here. This has been referenced from the parent table. This is the parent table with primary key. So where the primary key will remain, that is called the parent table, and the foreign key will remain the same field, is also is known as the child table. So in that way, the foreign referential integrity can be maintained. So you may be given in the exam two tables, and you have to identify which one is the primary key and which one is the foreign key. Fine. So that is the one. So easily it is clear from this diagram that which one is the primary key and which one is the foreign key. That means if you are trying to delete 103, say for 103, the record of Nitesh, if you want to remove, you will not be able to do that. Okay, because it has already been referenced out here. If you are deleting this one, then the referential integrity will be violated, means there will be no meaning. This 103 will become meaningless. That's why you cannot delete from here. Okay, and if you're trying to insert 106, that is also becoming meaningless because it does not have any other previous reference. Okay, so in this way, foreign key actually provides security into the relational database management system. All right, now we are coming to the relationship. All right, now in MS Access we can create relationship. And what is a relationship? A relationship means like when there are multiple tables can be defined using matching field with the same name in both the tables. All right, so you must have a common field, as I have told in the foreign key. The similar thing you have to have. Okay, in most of the cases these matching fields are the primary key because there is no chance of duplicacy. All right, or you cannot insert any duplicate record. So data inconsistency and data redundancy will be checked by using the foreign key. So there are three types of relationship: one to one, one to many, and many to many. Okay, so basically there are three types of relationship. What are those? One to one, one to many, and many to many. So in this type of relationship, what is happening in one to one? A record in a table can have only one matching record in another table. For example, you can say the PAN card, okay, or the other card. Okay, each person has only one Aadhaar number. Okay, nothing else. Only one what you call PAN number. Only one driving license number. So these are the examples of the one to one relationship. Okay, because your other number will not be assigned to another person. Okay, that is the thing. So this is actually called one to one relationship. Now let us see here, consider the following table: person info and person details. So what is happening? This is the primary key, this is the Aadhaar number, and this is the name. That means this particular number, that is 038472735252, has been assigned to A Sharma. It will not be assigned to any other body. Okay, any other person, I mean. Okay, and this other number has been assigned in the form of a foreign key in a child table. So this is the main table and this is the child table. So here the foreign key has been assigned. The primary key has been assigned as foreign key in the child table. That is the thing. So suppose mail ID. Suppose a mail ID. Mail ID, only one person, one mail ID. Like that. Okay. Clear. Okay, but this address can be different. Address can be as that is actually the one to many relationship. I'm coming one to many. So in this type of relationships, what is happening? A record of one table is associated with several matching records of another table. Okay, that is the thing. What is happening? But a record from the second table is associated with only one record in the first table. That is the thing. Primary key and foreign key. You can consider this one with, see here, 101. This is the table 1. This is the table 2. So 101 has having the three projects he has made. So he is having the three different project IDs out here. Okay. This is one to many. And who is 101? 101 is Sunil. Sunil is having three projects with the three different project IDs. All right, so that's why student ID cannot be a primary key over here. So at a time in a child table, a particular field cannot be a foreign key or a primary key. Fine. So that is the thing you see out here. 101, who is Sunil, and Sunil is assigned what? How many times? Three times for three different project IDs. That is the thing. So this is actually one to many. This line is very, very important, student. This one, a record from the second table is associated with only one record of the first table. Second table means they are actually assigning the child table. So in the child table, so whatever reference records are there, that will be associated with the single record only. So here it is, Sunil is associated with 101, 101, 101 three times with three different project IDs. That is the highlighted part into one to many. Okay, sometimes the diagrammatically question can come. So what kind of relationship it is, whether it is one to one or one to many. So by seeing this particular thing, you have to understand. So a student can work. So they have given this example out here, whatever I have told. Okay, another example that represents one to many relationships in the relationship of students and projects. A student can work on multiple projects at a time, and a set of projects is created by an individual student. All right, a student may have zero, one or more projects. Okay, so in that way, what is happening? This particular primary key has been associated with this particular foreign key. So the referential integrity has been incorporated out here. Okay, similarly, suppose you were talking about a stock, about a shopping mall or something like that. A customer can purchase different items. Okay, so for each items, the same customer ID will be used, and for the project, for the product ID will be different. Okay, that is actually the example of one to many relationship. Okay, now the last one we are coming over here, many to many relationship. What does it mean? In this type of relationship, multiple records of one table are associated with several records of another table, and vice versa. Okay, in this type of relationship, what is happening? Multiple records of one table are associated with several records of another table, and vice versa. For example, a student can be taught by many teachers, and the teacher can teach many students. That is actually the many-to-many relationship. In RDBMS, we cannot implement many-to-many relationship directly between the two tables. You have to first break the many-to-many relationship into two one-to-many relationship. Afterwards, you will be able to join the table. So this particular concept is a bit not actually pertaining to your syllabus, but you should know that. What is the thing? So direct many-to-many relationship is not possible in case of a RDBMS. So here you see, so 101, this actually the one to many relationship, actually this has been assigned over here, and this is the course details. This is also one to many relationship. Okay, this is afterwards what is happening? This particular 101, 101 and 101 having the three different courses and had been taught by the three different teachers. All right, here. So that is consider that this one in the above three tables, what is happening? You see the student table contains the records of students. This is the student table with the primary key field student ID. This is the primary key field. Okay, the course table contains the records of courses with the primary key field course ID. Okay, with the primary key field, this is the course ID actually. Okay, that is the thing. Now the student ID is actually the acting as a foreign key out here, otherwise it cannot be used again and again. If it is a primary key, it cannot be used. So here the course ID is actually is the primary key. Fine. Now the thing is that the students course table is the joint table, contains student ID and course ID as foreign key. What is the thing? Student course. What is the student's course? This is the student's course. Actually, it is the two foreign keys. Actually, course ID is actually the primary key. So a particular subject has been assigned to a simple course ID. Then both the things has been assigned over here in the student course table, where both the things are the foreign key. So two foreign key may happen. A group of fields also be the foreign key. So that is actually the, so here one to many, this is one to many, this is many to many relationship has been established. Okay, that is the thing. Fine. So next is actually that how to create a relationship. Okay, so in whenever you are creating the relationship, definitely you have to go with the one-to-one relation or one-to-many whatsoever. You have to go with the common fields. Okay, so open a database and click on the database tools tab and click on the relationship button in the relationship group. Okay, this will display the show tables dialog box. Then what is happening? To select both the tables, press the control key and click on the tables in the name list. Whatever table you want to select, that actually to be selected by the control key. To create a relationship, drag the primary key field from the parent table and drop it on the child table's primary key field. All right, so that is the thing out here. Child tables, these are the two tables, this is the parent table, and drop it into the child table's primary key field. All right, afterwards you have to click on create. Okay, child table's primary key field. The edit the relationship dialog box will be displayed. To maintain the integrity of data in both the tables, you have to choose an option called enforce what referential integrity. Okay, you see out here the relationship has been created, and you can enforce the differential integrity button. In that case, violation will not be possible, because what will happen in that case, this SID which you have dragged from here as primary key into the child table's primary key area, that will be assigned as foreign key. Okay, so no accidental deletion will happen, okay, in the primary table, that is the parent table, and no insertion will be possible into the SID, means like in the child table. That is the thing. Okay, so in that way, this is the enforcing referential integrity option. You can see it clearly, and you can consult your textbook also. These things are also there. And to edit the relationship dialog box, you have to double click on the relationship line. This is the relationship line, and then click on OK. The relationships applied on the table can be removed also by right clicking on the relationship and select the delete option from the context menu. Okay, so whenever you are right clicking, then the context menu appears. Fine, that is the thing. Okay, so this is the way to create a relationship in DBMS. All right, now we are coming to the field properties. All right, each field in a table has a field property which has been assigned to it. Okay, so a field property defines the characters of a field. It defines how the field will be used in the database. That is very important. Okay, the properties for each field in the design view on the table you have to set in the properties pane. So in the properties pane, okay, you can choose the following. You can select the following parameters. A field size, this property defines maximum number of characters that can be accommodated in a field. Okay, format, the format property displays on the format of the field, means what kind of field it is, whether it is text, whether it is number, whether it is date, or something like that. Okay, next is caption. It defines the caption when the field is used in a form. All right. Validation rule means that suppose you have you have kept a validation rule that no students whose no child whose age is less than 5 will be inserted. Okay, so you can keep a validation rule. It specifies the criteria that limits the values that can be entered into the field. Okay, so if you're keeping that criteria, less than 5 will not be possible. In that case, you will not be able to do that. So whatever you are entering in that case, you have to enter which is more than 5. Okay, that is the validation rule. And the validation text is what? It specifies the message when a value entered by the user does not satisfy the given criteria. Okay, in the validation rule. That is the validation text. Means validation rule and validation text are connected. Okay, suppose you have set the less than 5, means like children who are having the less than 5 years should not be inserted. And if in spite of that, if you are trying to do so, then in that case, whatever has been given, suppose you have given in the validation text, insert a proper age, suppose you have given. So in that case, that particular text will be displayed. So the validation text as such one. Okay, so these lines are very, very important, because for your objective type question answers as well. Okay, so whenever the criteria which has been assigned into validation rule will not be satisfied, in that case, whatever has been given in the validation text will be displayed. Fine. Default value. Suppose you have you have thought that okay, for a field, say for a what do you call certain key field. Suppose you have to pay some money which is fixed. Okay, for certain reason in your say some project, you have to pay 100 rupees fixed. Okay, so all the students has to pay. So in that case, you can set a default value. So and that you need not to insert that. It will be automatically inserted when you will insert the data, either in data not either in the datasheet view. So you can see the particular field is already filled up, which has been given as the default value. And required is this property enforces data entry for the field. Means you cannot keep any field as null. Null means nothing. Okay, so these are the following field properties that you have to use whenever you are entering, whenever you are creating table in design view. Okay, datasheet view, these things are not there, and only the design view will provide this particular field properties parameters. Okay, that you have to see. All right, so these are the theoretical explanation of the operations on tables in RDBMS. All right, and Shortly, I will give you the practical job or the practical implementation in this particular subject. All right. Till then, you study it properly, keep a note of it, okay? And everything has been given from your textbook. So follow the textbook, each and every line, and follow the question answers, short type question answers also, okay? And prepare it, okay? Shortly, you will be able to. Otherwise, if you want to do the practical implementation by saying it, that also you may do, all right? And I will give you the practical implementation shortly, all right? Thank you.